Welcome to the Explainer. So, picture this. You are finally ready to sell your car. You've got a buyer lined up, and then total panic sets in. You realize you have absolutely no idea where your car title is. It's a total nightmare scenario, right? Well, today we're tackling exactly how to replace a lost or stolen car title in the state of Connecticut. Whether you're getting ready to sell, moving across state lines, or honestly just trying to get your files in order, navigating the DMV really doesn't have to be a headache. Let's dive right in and get you back on track.
But hey, before we even start talking about paperwork, here's a crazy fact that might literally save some of you from doing any work at all today. If your car is older than 20 model years, Connecticut law, specifically Title 14, Section 114-66, says you don't even need a title. Seriously, the state flat out stops issuing titles for vehicles past that 20-year mark. So if you're cruising around in a vintage classic, you are officially off the hook. You can stop watching right now. For the rest of us with newer cars, though, let's keep moving.
Here is our quick bureaucracy buster action plan for today. First, we'll cover the value of a title, then gathering your required info, the 3 ways you can replace it, navigating tricky liens and issues, and finally, timelines and next steps.
All right, Section 1, the value of a title.
So, what is this thing exactly? Well, a certificate of title is your ultimate proof of ownership. What's kind of fascinating here is just how fragile it is. I mean, it's literally just a piece of paper. It gets easily torn, ruined by a coffee spill, or simply lost in the shuffle when you move. But despite being so flimsy, its legal weight is absolute. It's the one single document that says, beyond a shadow of a doubt, yes, this car belongs to me. And that brings us to why losing it is such a huge deal. Without this piece of paper, you essentially hit a brick wall. You absolutely cannot sell your car to a private buyer. You cannot trade it in at a dealership. And let's say you get an amazing job offer in another state and you need to move. Well, without the title, you can't register that vehicle in your new home state. You're just totally gridlocked until you get it replaced. Moving right along to Section 2, gathering your required info. Okay, so here is your pre-flight checklist. Grab a pen. First up, you're going to need the application for a replacement certificate of title. In Connecticut DMV speak, that is Form H6B. Second, you got to have your vehicle identification number, your VIN, and your license plate details handy. Third, grab a valid photo ID, like your driver's license, and your social security number. Now, quick caveat here. If you happen to have an out-of-state license or a CT drive-only license, you don't actually need the SSN. And finally, you'll need the $25 duplicate title fee. You can easily pay that with a credit or debit card if you're doing this online.
Okay, Section 3, 3 ways to replace.
Let's look at your 2 main options here. First, the online portal. Guys, this is blazing fast. The state actually estimates it takes just 7 minutes to knock this out if you've got your info and a card ready to go. It's by far the most efficient route. Now compare that to the traditional mail-in method. Mailing your application to the Wethersfield title unit with a $25 check or money order is definitely slower. But it is absolutely mandatory for certain complex situations, which we're going to talk about in just a second. There is technically a third option, which is going in person. But if you choose this route, please listen carefully. Walk-in services are strictly forbidden at the Cheshire, Putnam, and Stamford branches, period. Furthermore, absolutely no Connecticut DMV locations offer walk-in services on Saturdays. So the biggest takeaway here? Always, always make an appointment online before you show up, or you are literally just wasting a trip. Let's tackle the hard stuff. Section 4, navigating liens and issues. This is probably the most common question we see. What happens if a bank or lender financed your car and there's a lien on the vehicle? Well, the game changes quite a bit. Official DMV rules explicitly state that if there's an active outstanding lien on the car, you can't just hop online and request the title yourself. No way. The lien holder, which is usually your bank, has to apply for the replacement by mail using a power of attorney. Now, on the flip side, what if you recently paid the car off? The lien is technically satisfied, but it's still listed on your old lost title. In that case, you absolutely must provide a formal official lien release letter right alongside your H6B form to prove you own that vehicle free and clear. What about some other tricky special circumstances? Say you're trying to sell your car to a neighbor in Connecticut right now, but you can't find the title. Well, instead of waiting weeks for a replacement, there's a workaround. You can submit Form H6B along with Form Q1, which is a supplemental assignment of ownership. That little combo lets you transfer ownership immediately.
Another really tough scenario is replacing a title for a deceased relative. You can do this by mail, but you have to include certified probate court documents, like a PC 160 decree, officially naming you as the administrator. It's a bit more legwork, sure, but it is entirely doable if you follow their exact steps. All right, Section 5, Timelines and Next Steps. Let's set some really clear expectations so you aren't checking your mailbox every 5 minutes. If you apply online or in person on day 1, your replacement title should arrive by mail in about 20 business days. That's a pretty swift turnaround for the government. However, if you've got one of those complex cases we just talked about, like a lien holder applying by mail or a tricky probate situation, the manual processing for that can take up to 90 days. Knowing this timeline upfront prevents panic and really helps you plan your sale or your out-of-state move the right way.
As we wrap this explainer up, we do want to leave you with our standard professional disclaimer. We've decoded the process for you and laid out the structural roadmap, but remember, the Connecticut DMV is the ultimate authority here. Always double-check their official portal for real-time updates. And honestly, if you're dealing with a really messy estate or a weird lien issue, do not hesitate to consult a legal professional to make sure you're covered.
I want to leave you with this one thought. When was the very last time you physically laid eyes on your car title? Is it locked in a fire safe somewhere? Is it crumpled up at the bottom of your glove box under some fast food napkins? I highly, highly encourage you to go find it right now. Just taking 5 minutes to verify you have it today could literally save you anywhere from 20 to 90 days of agonizing waiting tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer today, and hey, happy driving.